Hello everyone and welcome back to IPL Trivia Fever with your host Priyadarshan. So I'm here to do the pre-match review for today evening's match, that is the Kolkata Knight Riders taking on the Chennai Super Kings. Now it hasn't been the best of IPLs for the Chennai Super Kings, but we all know that they are a strong team. Well, maybe a little more senior in terms of age and experience compared to the other teams, but this year I feel it's been the youngsters IPL. That's what I like to call it. And there are so many youngsters from the Kolkata team who have managed to outshine the bigger players or the bigger names in this tournament. In fact, Varun Chakravarti, the mystery spinner from Kolkata, even got selected for the Australia tour in the Indian squad, that is for the T20s. So it's really good to see that not only are they playing well, but their talent is also being recognized at a national level. So that's really, really great. Well, we'll get to the stats and such stuff in a minute. Before that, it's time for some interesting questions. So here are two questions for the players and support staff of the Kolkata Knight Riders. This stood as the record for 5 years before Chris Gayle broke it by scoring 175 in 2013. What record are we talking about and who held it previously? So I think now when we're talking about Chris Gayle and high scoring, so obviously one name does come to mind. And yes, it was the inaugural match of the IPL that was back in 2008. The record was held by Brendan McCullum. So Brendan McCullum scored 158 in 2008, which was a record for the highest individual total in the 2020 format at that time. So the now coach of KKR was once the opening batsman for KKR, and well, did he put up a show, and he actually showed us what the IPL truly means. So that was the answer for the first question. Moving on to the second question. This cricketer, who is now part of Kolkata Knight Riders team, holds the dubious record for longest over bowled in 50 overs. He bowled 17 balls in 1 over. So who is this cricketer that we are talking about? Well, to give you a hint, he is a part of the support staff. He's not an active player, and the player that we are talking about is Abhishek Nair. So in a match against South Zone in the Interzone Deodhar Trophy, Abhishek Nair bowled 10 wides and a no ball in the over. He shares this record with Mohammad Sami of Pakistan. So 17 balls in an over, my god, isn't that a bit too much? So that brings us to the questions for the Chennai Super Kings team. So first question. Who was the first Indian cricketer to have scored 2 centuries in the history of the Indian Premier League? So the first player to score 2 centuries in the IPL was the opening batsman of CSK. He's still a part of the CSK squad. The answer we are looking for is Murli Vijay. So that was the answer. And that brings us to our last question. So here it goes. He didn't play a game for CSK in IPL 2019, but was described as a brilliant cricket mind by MS Dhoni. He also tested positive twice for COVID-19 before the start of IPL 2020, but has recovered to make his IPL debut for Chennai Super Kings. So which cricketer are we talking about? Well, to give you a hint, just in the previous match, he played a brilliant knock, scored a half century as well. The player that we are talking about is Ruturaj Gaikwad. So he did not get many opportunities this year also, but now that he's back in the team, I think they will play him till the rest of the tournament is over. So those were our questions. I hope you enjoyed them. Now, coming back to the points table, well, I think it is safe to say that it's a bit too late for the Chennai Super Kings to make it to the playoffs, especially with teams like Punjab, Kolkata, Rajasthan and Hyderabad still fighting for that last spot. So it's tough going for CSK, but they are a quality side. Maybe things haven't gone their way this year, but we all know that this team is a team which cannot be taken lightly, and it will definitely bounce back. When we talk about it from Kolkata's perspective, it is a do or die match for them. Well, the previous loss against Punjab has already pushed them out of the top 4, but now they have a possibility, they have a slight chance to get back into that top 4. If they win today's match, they will be at 16 points and they will get their 4th spot back. And tomorrow's match, which is Punjab versus Rajasthan, becomes very important from Kolkata's perspective, because if Punjab lose that match, then Kolkata can maintain their 4th spot. But if Punjab wins the match again, well, then again it will be Kolkata coming on the 5th spot. So it's going to be a tough battle for that fourth spot between Punjab and Kolkata. That's my take on it. And I feel that the three teams in the top, which is Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore, I feel they are definitely going to qualify, even though some of them have lost and won. But I feel that it's still going to happen. Well, when we're talking about KKR, the bowling has still been good. It's been on point. They've been one of the good teams who have fielded well. But the issue lies in batting. The only issue is if certain initial wickets fall, well, then the rest of them follow way too quickly. In the previous match, at least Ian Morgan and Shubman Gill were able to give almost a 80 run partnership after they were 10 for 3. So there was at least something which was recovered. At least they had some runs on the board for which they could defend. But that has to change. Sending Nitish Rana opening with Shubman Gill is really good. But I feel that if one of the players realizes the other has got going, then he should at least preserve his wicket. Play a little safer. Don't take those risks in the early overs because the ball is swinging and all the teams have quality bowlers, especially in today's match. They have a Deepak Chahar who can swing the ball both ways and early in the match. So it's better to play out these overs. It's not necessary just because it's the power play to go all out, because what Kolkata is doing, they tend to go all out and then they are collapsing. The batting lineup collapses really badly. So hopefully they can take care of that. Rahul Tripathi, well, he is an aggressor in most of the partnerships, but he's also a very smart and calculated player. So I feel he should take a little more time to settle in because he can do some serious damage. And I have a feeling in today's match, he is going to outperform all the other batsmen. So let's hope for the best. Whereas when we talk about CSK, there is one name which always comes to mind, and that is Sam Curran. Well, he has been the best all-rounder for CSK with the bat, with the ball, has been playing brilliantly well. And now that things aren't going really CSK's way, they can really try something really out of the blue. Maybe MS Dhoni can come and open the innings. Well, we know that he is a prolific batsman, so they should try some change-ups here and there, maybe which might help them in next year's IPL as well. So I feel that's the perfect time to experiment for them right now. Well, again, that being said, I am a KKR fan, so I am going to be a bit biased that I want KKR to win today's match. But I just want a good game of cricket more than anything, and hopefully we'll get to see that. So all the best to all the fans out there, and let's see who comes out on top in this battle. So all the best to everyone, and I think it's time for some IPL action.